everyone, this is KTRU Radio. I'm Rachel, here with our guest.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm from the solo project Alpha Yang.
So tell me more about why you chose Alpha Yang as your stage name.
So I'm Chinese Filipino and I live here in the Philippines. And so I do have my name. So my name's Jacob, but I also have a Chinese name, and my Chinese name is Yang Ming Tai. So I think while I was trying to figure out what artist name I wanted, I was thinking of maybe using my Chinese name, but like I kind of wanted it to be English. So I Google translated my Chinese name, and I think I removed the Yang because that's my surname in Chinese. And then so I inputted in Google Translate, and I think it uh, translated to alpha. And so I just combined those two words. Yeah, just stuck with it.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah. For someone so young, you've had a lot of you have quite a bit of a discography. What made you decide to do all these solo projects?
Oh, it's a good question. I feel like I've always had a knack to create a lot of things, and I guess my very first album, which is called Spellbound, it was released around last year, July, and I think that was a bunch of songs that I've just created for a very long time, uh, and I think it was just me wanting to express myself a lot due to me kind of being shy to ask other people to help me out. So I think that really pushed me because uh, since I was too shy to ask to be in a band or something like that, I really wanted to push myself and see how far I'll go with the songs I can make alone. Yeah.
You also released something pretty recently. You released a single.
Yes. Yeah. So I just recently released a single. It's called Chess. It will be part of um, the new album called Double Season, which will be out June 5. And yeah, Chess just talks about uh, toxicity in relationships and how people won't even notice the toxicity sometimes and how bad it can turn out.
What topics do you tend to excuse me, to someone who hasn't listened to your music before, what type of themes does your music incorporate?
I think I think everyday life basically. So I do tackle about relationships and love sometimes, but especially in this second album, I really wanted to focus on different topics and more very reflective kind of topics. How you have to actually think about your actions and stuff like that.
So I apologize for being ignorant about this, but with the whole global pandemic, each country is reacting was each country is reacting in different ways. Here in the US, we're currently under lockdown for the most part. How is the Philippines responding to the pandemic, and how has that impacted whether that's um, your music making process or just your daily life in general?
So here in the Philippines, we're also under lockdown, and um, I guess it's just really weird times for everyone here right now. Uh, not only are people's life are not only are they at risk, but I feel like this situation is really opening up the true colors of people and how it's opening things up that are kind of ugly sometimes, but it's also bringing out the best in people as well. So, uh, I mean, as time goes by, it's getting harder to be honest, but it's really pushing me to see the good side in things as well. And yeah, I've been trying to keep myself busy during the lockdown. I've been, even though I have an album coming out, I have been making more music and stuff like to keep myself busy and just be around with my family and like just talk to friends as much as possible.
That's good to hear. Um, Talk to me about your music making process. Excuse me. Talk to me about kind of how your music went from EDM initially to where it is now.
So yeah, I think I, as I mentioned, I think in high school I really wanted to form a band like a lot of people, but for some reason I couldn't find friends or like people to join. So that really bummed me out. But then I really wanted to do music for a very long time. So what I did was to learn how to make my own sounds and to write my own songs. And like a way to do that was for me to practice using uh, EDM. So there's some remix competitions out there that are free, and what I would do is I would get the stem files of those remix competitions and yeah, make a remix, but not really submit them. So like I'll just use them for my practice, and yeah. But then I later on I realized, oh, it's not turning out as bad as I thought. So I started releasing them. But then after a while, I really wanted to make my own original content, and yeah, so the Alpha Young thing changed a bit.
What's your goals with, sorry, excuse me. What are your plans as an artist going forward? Whether it's like continuing to just do music in just kind of like releasing music, but then maybe not, I guess, doing live concerts, or just is there a certain path you'd like to take?
I guess I just want to uh, make my music be heard like from all over. So not just here in my country, but I really want to push myself to see who's willing to listen to my songs. And I mean, I mean, due to the situation right now, it's kind of hard to like interact with people. But I really want to form a relationship with fans going on. I think that would be really nice to actually have a growing following as time goes by.
Do you view music as going to be a side hustle in the future, or do you want that to be your like main gig?
Um, I guess it's kind of like a balance of both. I don't really want to put too much pressure on myself to make this my main thing because there's really a lot of other things I can prioritize. But I would want to make music my main thing, I guess in general. But I guess the reason why I also chose psychology is because I really am interested in people and how they work and how they interact with each other. It really, yeah, it's really interesting to me. And I feel like uh, even without knowing it before, I feel like uh, the knowledge I have now with what I'm getting from my psychology lessons, I'm actually incorporating it into my songs. And I think it's pretty cool.
Would you like to drop any like socials?
Oh, yeah. People can follow me on Facebook. I have a page. It's just search up Alpha Young. I also have Instagram and Twitter, and my handles at both of those is at Alpha Young Music. But You guys can also check me out on Spotify, Apple Music, and all other streaming services.
Alrighty, that's conclusion of part one of the interview. Are you ready for part two?
Yep.
Alrighty, this is open-ended questions. Describe your music making process as a recipe.
Oh, um, one bedroom, uh, one computer, and maybe uh, two pitchers of water.
Describe your album. Describe your album Spellbound in one word, not using any of the words on that album.
uh, uh,
Title-wise, at
colorful.
least. Okay. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
uh, it can for me. Yeah.
What is your most memorable dream as of late?
um, I think it's not maybe not the most memorable, but the weirdest. But I guess it's the one that I can recall the most. Is that um, there was a press conference in the lobby of my condominium, and it was like a press conference about what's happening during the lockdown. And for some reason, I went down the elevator and I see this press conference happening, and yeah, I just went back up.
Describe your personality as a genre of music.
Ooh, I guess I guess the same with how I'm making songs, like bedroom pop, and yeah, yeah, bedroom pop.
If you can make one unimportant thing free for everyone, what would it be?
One unimportant thing. Uh, can't think of anything. Uh, well, one thing I want for free that's very underrated for me are nail clippers. I feel like they're super important, and I want that to be free for everyone because no one talks about it. But it's kind of important. But yeah,
For a first-time listener, what song in your discography do you recommend them listening to first?
uh, my the song that people uh, talk to me about the most is my song called "Real." Well, it's also part of my album Spellbound, and it it actually got recently featured in a movie here in the Philippines called Isapod Feelings, and I feel like that really opened a lot of opportunities for me, and I feel like a lot of people really like that song. So I recommend listening to that.
Congrats on the movie, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, okay. This is gonna be a quarantine edition. Have you baked bread during quarantine?
Sorry.
Sorry. So it's like these are things that are like specific to quarantine that like
Okay.
during quarantine, have you baked bread?
Oh, so okay. So yeah, my sister has, yeah, and she's been improving like by the day.
What is the strangest headline on the news that you have seen?
Uh, strangest headline. Um, I can't think of anything right now, but um, huh. I guess everything is strange right now in the news. So yeah, I'm sorry. Can't think
Touche.
of, yeah.
During quarantine, did you create a TikTok?
Uh, I think before quarantine I did make a TikTok, but I didn't make any TikTok videos.
Toilet paper orientation, over, under, or the toilet paper isn't on the roll.
I'm an over guy. Yeah.
Alrighty, and final question. Is there anything you'd like to tell our listeners before we conclude this interview?
Um, I guess everyone to just stay safe and stay sane, and yeah, just do whatever makes you happy. And yeah, thanks for having me again.
Alrighty, thanks for talking with us. This is KTRU Radio signing off.